All right, how's it going? So today I'm going to start this off with a little experiment. I bet that people watching this won't be willing to wait 5 seconds for me to reveal today's topic. All right, so let's see. All right, time's up. Are you still there? Well, congratulations because it wasn't worth it. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully, it will be worth it. Today, I am talking about the amazing virtue of patience. And over the last couple weeks, I've been searching for jobs, as you know, if you follow along with this podcast. And I've come to the realization that I have zero patience. And this has been a pretty significant adjustment for me because I'm used to just be completely consumed by work. And now the stress and anxiety of having a job has been replaced with the stress and anxiety of not having one, as ironic as that is. Every night I just lay down and think like, man, I need to find a job soon. And the first thing I do in the morning is look at emails or scroll through LinkedIn and see if there's been any progress between like the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. And of course, there is none. So that's been great. But yeah, it's horrible. I mean, I am just completely just consumed by this right now. And everyone who knows of my situation is just like, hey, like relax, everything's going to be fine. But just day in and day out, there's just this pit in my stomach that I just can't get rid of. And maybe it's an ulcer from all of the stress. Hopefully not. I'm just kidding. I think I'm fine. But there's just this inner monologue that I'm just constantly fighting that's like reminding myself to that I really need to just embrace this time and just try to be as patient as possible as I'm going through this process because I'm doing everything I need to be doing in order to find a good job. But I wanted to dive in today about what it means to embrace patience. So patience is defined as the capacity to accept or tolerate delay, trouble, or suffering without getting angry or upset. And these days, I feel like patience is practically, like it's on the endangered species list as far as virtues goes. We've been living in this world where everyone just has instant gratification and it's only getting worse and worse. But I have some examples that we can run through. So here we go. First, same day shipping. So here's a crazy stat for you. In 2019, same day delivery in the US market amounted to $5.87 billion, and by 2024, the market is forecasted to reach $15.6 billion. Same day delivery in the US is one of the most requested services for e-commerce, and we cannot bear to wait for things like we used to. I remember being in high school or in middle school, and the norm was 7 to 10 business days for something like a pair of shoes, right? And by the time you actually receive this item, whatever it was, you've completely forgot about it. It's sitting outside the entire day, just right in front of your door. You don't even think to grab it. But now you have to fucking go grab that shit as quick as you can because there's porch pirates that are just waiting constantly to grab everyone else's shit. Sidebar on porch pirates, by the way. I don't know how someone gets into this type of lifestyle. As far like for me, I don't know. I don't think it would last very long. I'm never buying good shit online. It's either like hair gel, joint supplements for my dog, but you're putting all this effort in to steal some shit that like you don't even know what it is, and by the time you open it up, it's like it's coffee filters, right? It's like it's not worth it. I don't know how sustainable this crime really is. And like there's also like porch pirate couples, which I find very interesting, like who breaks the ice here, who is the first person to say, you know what, let's do this. Is it a conversation over dinner? Are they going out for a walk and the guy's like, hey, check this out, and just swoops a box on their walk? Like it's a pretty ballsy thing to do, I think, if you're in a relationship. But I don't know, as far as entry level crimes go, I guess it's not the worst thing. But Ring cameras, I'm sure it's a rush, you got to watch out for all of those. You never know what you're going to get. But anyways, we've lost all the patience that we have as a society. And even if a porch pirate did come get your fucking shit that you same day delivered, Amazon will just replace it and give you something else within 24 hours. Like there's just no waiting allowed. And I think the same goes for like food delivery, right? A few clicks and it's right at your door, whatever you want. And that's actually like pretty crazy and pretty insane to think about. Whatever you want, it's on your doorstep. And I think the same thing goes for social media as well. I think society just needs this instant gratification of people liking photos, commenting on the photos, and we just can't be inconvenienced to just wait for other people to tell us how good we look or how great life is. And I'm guilty of this too, by the way. I'll post like once a year, but when I do, I'll catch myself like refreshing to see who's liked it. I'll look to see if there's any comments. If I ever post a story, like I have to see who's viewed the story, shit like that. I think the worst that I've seen is sorority girls from my college days. They'd post this just edited ass picture from the night before, and you just see endless comments of fire emojis popping up and go get it girl and all these other fucking bullshit things, right? And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. That's great that they're being hyped up. These girls are each other's biggest hype man, but it's just we cannot simply just wait for an organic compliment anymore these days. Our egos just won't allow it. We just need this constant hype by people in our communities. Other examples, I think, are streaming services and bypassing advertisements or even loans and credit. It's kind of crazy that you can really buy whatever you want before you even have the money these days. And waiting for something you want is just a thing of the past. But I did a little research on this topic of patience, and in 2012, someone by the name of Sarah Schninkter published the Journal of Positive Psychology. And in this research, she characterized 3 types of scenarios that would require someone to respond either patiently or impatiently. First, you have life hardships. This is facing a chronic illness, potentially losing a job. Typically, these are like long-term effects. Next, interpersonal interactions. Settling a conflict, a struggle with a spouse, a friend, a child, a parent, whatever it is, someone in your life, you're settling a conflict with them. Then third, there's daily hassles. This is what we most would consume ourselves with: traffic jams, flight delays, spills, tangled headphones, shit like that, right? Now, the 2 types that I would choose to define myself are life hardships and daily hassles. As far as interpersonal interactions go, I think I'm pretty good at not letting most of the stuff bother me. If I have a conflict with someone, I try my best to either settle it, or if it's out of my control, I try to realize that and just let it go. It's kind of funny because my fiance is the exact opposite. She knows how to hold a grudge. And really, I don't know how she does it. Just last week, she had a dream that I cheated on her. And for like 2 days, she was genuinely hurt, and she wouldn't talk to me. She'd be super upset. And I guess it didn't help that my first question was like, who was it? Who did I cheat on you with? You know, that definitely didn't help the situation. But yeah, one time she got in a fight with my roommate freshman year of college, and she never spoke to that dude again. And it was actually super impressive. I don't know how she keeps track of all of these grudges. There must be like a little black book somewhere. Hopefully I don't make my way on it someday. But yeah, it's crazy. Back to me. So yeah, life hardships. I feel like that's definitely easy to understand. The more stress you're under, you're more likely to be impatient, especially if that affects you long term. But it's the daily hassles that are really getting me lately. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I'm already stressed out and these little things are just driving me crazy. But I'll give you a few examples. So first, there's construction literally everywhere around my house right now. It's 360-degree angle around my house. I can't get around anywhere without being stuck in construction. And most time it's these massive construction trucks that move like 5 miles an hour, or those guys that hold those like slow stop signs, and then they'll just turn them. And every time I'm just getting stuck on the stop sign. It's just meant to be. But another thing is like technology glitches or technology delays. Like I dusted off my laptop from 2014, almost a decade old, and this thing just moves like a snail, man. Like trying to edit a 20 to 30 minute podcast on this dinosaur is just pure torture. The fan is super loud. I feel like it's just going to take right off the desk. It's just horrible. It drives me insane. Now, something I always lose my temper with is fast food, like drive-thru lines. My fiance is the absolute worst with fast food drive-thrus. It's like she's never been to these places before and never seen the menu. I'll pull up and it's instant for me, right? It's no browsing. There's no looking around. It's I get in, I get out, especially if there's cars behind me. So I'll order at like 4 seconds flat. It's like number 2, the drink, and there's like no special options. It's whatever it is. And then I look over at her, and she's just processing everything, and I'm pressuring her, and it makes everything 1,000 times worse. And by the time we get to the second window, it's like we're not even on talking terms by then, because I've stressed her out so much, because I'm like, we got to go like pick something. They're waiting for us. We got to do this. All right. But yeah, so then we get to the second window, and she always looks over and she's like, give me an extra sauce, right? Whatever it is, ranch, hot sauce, spread packet from In-N-Out. She needs to have the extra sauce. And I hate asking. It drives me absolutely insane. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is. It just irks me to no end. And it's just, I don't know what it is. I just have no patience for it. And one time I asked in advance, I like the little speaker for the extra sauces, right? And by the time we get to the second window, they give me the food. I grab the bag really quick, give it to her, and I just pull off. She looks in the bag and she's like, the sauces aren't there. And I was like, well, that's a damn shame. You know, I don't know what to tell you. There's ranch at home. It's Hidden Valley. Granted, it's not as good as whatever the ranch is here, but I'm not doing this, right? I'm not doing this. I'm not going back in. I'm not going around the drive-thru again. And I felt like she felt personally attacked by this, just because I wouldn't do this. And I don't know what the miscommunication is between the speaker and like drive-thru door 1 and drive-thru door 2, but no matter what it is, you're never getting that extra sauce. And yeah, she hates it, man. I hate going through drive-thrus with her. I don't know what it is. I have no patience in the drive-thru line. And even if people are ordering some crazy shit in front of me, I feel like sometimes I'm like, who the hell is in this car? You know, how many people can be in this car in front of me? It's crazy. Another thing that happened to me recently is while I was grocery shopping, I'm in the checkout line, and then someone in the checkout line in front of me forgets their wallet, and they got like at least $200 worth of shit, right? And all of a sudden they're like, oops, I forgot my wallet. And all I can do is just like drop my head, right? That is just it's so infuriating to me. And I'm just like I'm in pure agony. I can't move lanes. All my shit's already on the conveyor belt. The manager has to come over to void it. They're pushing everything to the side. All my stuff then coming through is getting pushed in this corner next to their food. And I don't know. I'm looking around like I should have known, right? I see the state that this person is in front of me. I should have known. It's my fault for getting in this line, but I have no patience for it, man. And no matter what, I'll always get in the wrong line. I don't know what it is. I could be in traffic. I could be in a store, but if there's 2 separate lines, I will always get in the worst one. But anyways, yeah, it's these daily hassles for me that are creating just so much unhappiness for me right now, because I can't find the patience. Like, who cares about waiting in line a little longer? I'm not in a rush, right? I got nothing to do. Take an extra 30 seconds to ask for a fucking ranch and make my partner happy. But in hindsight, it just doesn't matter. I look at, like, I'm in these moments and I'm just a ball of rage, and I can't find the patience. I actually found another study that connected impatience with irritability and higher risk of heart problems, which is great. A 2016 study published in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences of the United States of America found that impatient behavior was actually linked to people having shorter telomeres, which is a part of our DNA that influences how our cells age, suggesting that being more impatient might therefore speed up the aging process in our bodies, as opposed to how cells would otherwise age if we were to act more patiently. So, long story short, I'm basically killing myself off while I edit this podcast because of this ancient relic of a computer that I'm working on. And I don't know, it's just crazy. So you're welcome for doing this, because I'm taking years off of my life maybe right now at this point, but it's just wild. You know what the craziest part of all of this is that I bet most people watching this podcast like don't even make it this far, because I didn't get to the point fast enough about what this podcast is actually about. I have kind of a long intro, and everything these days is just like now. And when making like short form content, for example, success is just completely determined by the first 3 seconds. That's it. It's how fast can you develop a hook and capture someone's attention and reel them in, and all you can get is 3 seconds or less. And Microsoft actually did a study that found the average age of attention spans of Gen Zs was actually only about 8 seconds long, which is 4 seconds less than that of millennials. So this is only getting worse and worse, and I can only imagine that one's attention span and understanding of patience are directly correlated. Naturally, as I'm researching this topic, I start seeing information about depression because some less obvious symptoms of depression include anger, irritability, and impatience. So it's just like coming up nonstop. And then more research on depression comes up. And according to a new report from Gallup, about 18% of adults, more than 1 in 6 people, say they're depressed or receiving treatment for depression, which is a jump of more than 7% since 2015. And of course, I'd be stupid to rule out the fact that there was a pandemic, obviously, during this time. That obviously had a huge effect on everyone. But I think as we lose this sense of patience as a society, the more likely the outcome is that we're just going to get more angry and more irritable, and there's going to be more depression. And I don't know. I think with all that said, I'm working very, very hard to be as positive as possible throughout this entire experience. I'm trying to maintain patience as much as possible. And I'm very grateful that I'm staying extremely proactive as possible during the day. Like, I'm actually very busy during this time. I think it's episode 10 where I briefly talk about Stutz's life force pyramid. And it really comes down to that for me right now. That's all I'm really trying to focus on. So first, you focus on your body, your sleep, your movement, your diet. Then you can focus on people in your life. So your friendships, your relationship, your family. And then finally from that, you can focus on yourself. And that's really all I'm trying to do right now. So this is your reminder to just calm the fuck down. All right. Everything's going to be all right. Take a deep breath with me in these times of frustration. It's all going to be all right. It's all going to be okay. I'm going to find a job. Everything's going to work out. And I'm going to use this challenging time to work on my patience a little bit. I'm just going to take a step back, cool down a little bit. And you know what? Everything's going to be all right. So, bam. Thank you for taking this time today to have the patience to sit with me and listen to this podcast. I appreciate you. And I will talk to you next week. In the meantime, try to be more patient. It's going to be okay. We got this.